on the Ball Spreads prediction show coming to you guys on Father's Day, where it is June 21st, 2026. And man, we've had a pretty good month. We've had some days where we've dropped a few. We've had some days where we've ran away with it. We've had one of our most profitable days, period, in 2026 at all here in this June. We had it this past Tuesday. Thank you, World Cup. Thank you, MLB. But man, let's get into it. I do want to say happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Anybody who's a dad that tunes in. Anybody that really just takes care of somebody, you know what I mean? Like if you stepped up, whether it's your child or not, man, you know, hats off to you. Just step up and be a dad. That's the big thing, is just stepping up daily and being consistent, man. So you know, hats off to the pops out there. Pops involved, not involved, whatever your situation may be. You know, I got 3 boys. I'm divorced, but you know, I try my best to see them as often as I can. And bust my ass to make sure that we're winning plays, because that's how I'm going to get paid, right? Get you guys paid, get myself paid, and build a community that believes in me to be the #1 in the business. So guys, happy Father's Day to everybody. Once again, let's tap in, let's cash some money, let's get a little bit of extra beer money and gambling money in our pockets. That's the move for the day for the pops. We all know, sit back, grab a Corona, watch the US Open, watch a little bit of World Cup, watch the MLB, whatever you choose to do. Pick your poison today, but pick it wisely, because this first one we're going to, I like a lot here on the slate. But before we dive in, I am going to say ONYX Odds. Make sure to sign up today. In the descriptions tab, you'll see the link. Sign up for ONYX Odds. Spend 10, get 100. I believe they're giving out $200 in bonus bets this week, so highly recommend you grab this. Sign up with the descriptions tab. You'll see the ONYX Odds link for the sign up. All right, into the show now, guys. We got Reds, Yankees first up, and I kind of want to keep this short and sweet. We did a good job at keeping it under 15 minutes yesterday. Didn't dive into the data a ton. I'll drop a tutorial video maybe later tonight on some stuff here on Blowout Alert. And once again, Blowout Alert is in the descriptions tab. You can download that today and upgrade to Pro as well for $19 a month. All right, guys. Cincinnati Reds, Yankees. Let's get into it. It is showing Garrett Cole here on the mound, and I'm curious to see if they pull a little Chicago White Sox trick here, because I was looking at the MLB app and FanDuel earlier, and it was saying Rodriguez, right? And it's still showing Rodriguez. Now, look, it showed us something similar the other day when the Yankees played the White Sox, and the White Sox ended up throwing 2 starters, so they ended up subbing in their true starter, Burke, in about the 2nd or 3rd inning, and then he went all the way through 7. So they got 2 really quality starts out of that matchup. Look, I like Chase Burns here. I think Chase Burns is a handful for these Yankees bats who've been inconsistent at times. Garrett Cole has been great, but he has lacked some strikeout stuff. I think I want to be on the first 5 innings here. Look, if you look over here on Blowout Alert, it is a true 0-0 edge play. So our software is picking up on 0 edge in this matchup. And when it's ever around a 0 edge or a very 48-52, you typically want to go underdog just for the value, because if I'm paying -130 for the Yankees versus a +102 for the Reds, I'm doubling my money versus only getting, you know, 80%, 85% of my money. You know, it goes a lot further. And I was explaining this to a client the other day. You know, when you jump in a play, you know, when I lock a play at -120, and you jump into the play because you're waiting to see how the live goes, and you jump in at -210, you know, you're not getting as much. The juice isn't worth the squeeze at that point. Like, or you're having to pair it up with another leg, and that other leg's another variable where it could lose. And even though I'm on that other leg, it doesn't mean that it makes it a lock, you know, or I would have put them together. So it's just a tough spot to be in when you're with the juice sometimes. So in these close games where I do believe this will be a close one, and I lean the first 5 on the Reds for the simple fact that they have Chase Burns, who's the obvious pitching advantage in this matchup. I like it. -122 on the first 5, +102 on the money line. I don't really trust the Reds bullpen, especially if this game is only won by like 1 or 2 runs through the first 5. So yeah, I'd play the first 5 at -122. We'll keep it moving, and that's the way it goes. Let's get into it, guys. Next one up, Braves Milwaukee. This one is siding towards the Braves with, it looks like, 6 advantage points here. We were on the Braves yesterday. I gave out the Brewers on the show, and then I looked at this Blowout Alert, and I was like, you know what, it might be right. So I gave out a free play for the Braves in my premium chat, Braves did cash barely. It looked like the Brewers were going to be the right side most of the game, and I think what the Braves got it done in the ninth. Look, so today you got Bryce Elder, Robert Gasser. I'm not a fan of Gasser. I think today I'm more confident in the Braves than I was yesterday. Give me Bryce Elder in the backed Braves today to get it done against Milwaukee. They looked a little bit better yesterday. Still not hitting the ball that great, but looked better than what they have in the previous series. So that's where we're at. Chicago White Sox, Detroit. You got Montero on the mound, Davis Martin. You guys know how I feel about Davis Martin. Give me the White Sox here. We're going to keep it moving, keep it short and sweet. Montero, he hasn't been that fantastic this year, but over his last two starts, he has looked sharp. We were on the Tigers for one of his starts over the last two. And I did like what I saw a little bit out of those Detroit bats yesterday, grinding it out, making some hits. But I'm on the White Sox side of things here, guys. They're too good offensively. Davis Martin is having his best season maybe ever. So, yeah, give me the White Sox here, guys, on the money line, and we'll keep it moving. Let me go up here and clear my watch list really fast, guys. So one thing that this is it's your watch list. You can go back in from the day before and see where everything worked out, and go from there. Like, just work through it, see where the games turned out. Well, that's pretty much it. We're going to clear it. Boom. Now we got a watch list to go back to. We said we're on the Reds. We said we're on the Braves. We said we're on the White Sox. And we're moving on into the Giants and the Marlins. Logan Webb is on the mound versus Gusto. Gusto hasn't looked good in his two starts. Logan Webb has been throwing really good strikeout stuff. I know his ERA is showing high, but if you look at these last couple starts, it has not been high. 1-0-1-0 high K rate. He had this one outing here against San Diego where he got peppered, but outside of that, he's been pretty sharp over the last 6 weeks. I'm going to have to go with Logan Webb here on the money line. Bats have kind of been waking up. Bryce Eldridge, Casey Schmidt, Luis Arez, Rafael Devers, Willie Adames, Jung Ho Lee. Got a lot of good bats. This is the team that I thought I could be betting on earlier in the season. They're starting to look like that team. A team that has decent starting pitchers, decent hitters. I know they got off to a really rough start, only 31 wins, 45 losses. We'll see what they can do in this back half of the season, if they can make a run. Highly doubtful, but I do like them in this spot today, taking on Gusto and the Marlins. All right, give me the Giants on the money line. Our next one up, Washington Nationals, Tampa Bay Rays. Look, I didn't want to believe it, but Nick Martinez is regressing. He has been a moneymaker for us all season long. These Tampa Bay Rays have been a moneymaker for us all season long. His last couple starts, 3 earned runs, 3, 6, 2, 1. And then this is kind of where it all started, right around late May. And he's been regressing ever since. And that happens with these pitchers. Pitchers that have really low ERAs that are playing above their ceiling typically regress at some point in the season. I think this is a regression point. I like what Andrew Alvarez has brought to this Nats lineup. I talked about it last week when we were on the Nats. I like the bats for the Nationals. I think the Nationals are one of the most slept-on bats in the league. Give me the Washington Nationals here on the money line, and I'm going to go back to the first 5 innings as well. All right? Give me the Nationals. Let's keep it moving. Guardians, Houston. I know this is a tougher one to call because, like, Slade is not a terrible pitcher, but he's been gettable at times. Over his last couple starts, more respectable. But Tang, on the other hand, you know, he's been horrendous his last couple starts. He started off hot. And this is the thing. His ERA isn't telling enough. Like, this 2.19 is not telling enough. You look, 5 earned runs, 4 or 3. It's just because he had all those really good starts that he piled up early in the season. He is in regression mode as well. I'm over here with the Guardians today with Slade Cachoni, or however the hell I say his name. I'm with Slade, baby. Give me Slade. And once again, look, this is a 50-50 game pointed out with our edge finder. And the edge finder is pointed at strictly 0. And look, that's the difference right there. Minus 142 juice to plus 118 in a 50-50 matchup. You know, that's why MLB can be the most profitable. Because in the NBA, when you have two teams that are 50-50 matchup, it's typically never 50-50, right? Like Spurs and Knicks, let's call it how we saw it in the finals. Those teams are 50-50. They should be able to win any given night. But the Knicks had their way with them. You know what I mean? Thunder and Spurs. I mean, obviously, I think the Thunder may be a little bit better. They weren't fully healthy, but you know, I was on the Spurs there, made a ton of money in that. But at the same time, you would have thought, you know, 50-50 games, and in NBA it's blowouts a lot of times. You know, 20-point wins, 15-point wins. MLB, it's not that way. In an MLB 50-50 game, you typically see a good game that is winnable throughout the whole game. Look, we were on the Pirates yesterday with the Rockies. There was that bogus call. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw that with the runner interference. I mean, guy hit a little dinker, and guys running to third. They scored a run to tie the game, and they called the runner out at third to end the game because he interfered with the glove. His big toe clipped the guy's glove like this, but you're taught to come charge the ball and make the play. Well, you're charging into the runner as well. I get the runner's in your path, but he didn't slow down. He ran through it. It was something else, man. I couldn't believe they decided to end the game that way. Shame on the MLB for getting that one wrong, in my opinion. I don't care if his big toe clipped his glove like that. Guy still gloved it. He still should have been able to make the throw. That was some pussy shit. I'll be honest with you guys. But point in case is this: that game was the Rockies underdog plus 168, I think, on the money line. They won it last night. J.J. McCarthy had a fantastic game, scored their only 2 runs. They won it. That's MLB baseball. And when you find that there's not a true edge, and honestly, there was our application here called the Rockies last night. They gave the Rockies 6 edge points, and I can already tell you 2 of them. Sugano has been a better pitcher over the last 6 weeks than Paul Skeens, and 2, the Rockies are the #1 hitting team against righties, and Paul Skeens is a righty. Granted, the only guy to really hit Paul Skeens last night was J.J. McCarthy. Got it inside the park home run, and then he got that. I think he got walked or he got a single. He got a single, and then stole second, I believe, and then trucked it all the way from second on a base hit into home. But yeah, man, let's get back into the slate. I like the Cleveland Guardians. Obvious reasons. 50-50 games. Money line positive plus 113. Like I said, this is how you can be profitable in the MLB. Not saying this is a hammer home play, but I feel really good about being on the Guardian side at plus money. So let's keep it moving into the next one here. But I will say the bats are scary with the Astros. But I trust the Guardians to get it done today, guys, even without Ramirez in the lineup. Cardinals, Royals. Royals have been fantastic, man. Look, they've got a 14-point edge. They're plus money. They're at home in Kauffman Field. I know that the better pitcher's over here with Dustin May at the moment, but Kolek has not been a slouch at all either. Go ahead, give me the Royals here. I like this play a lot. Go grab the plus money, guys. Play this as a straight play. Now that I'm actually talking about it out loud, I realized I didn't drop this as a straight in my chat. I have it in a little 4-leg parlay. Let me make sure I go drop this in the chat as a straight because I really like this play here on the Royals at plus money. So let's keep it moving, guys, into the next one. Toronto, Chicago. Look, Emenyaga has been anything but ace this year. Last 2 starts are respectable, but look at that 3-game stretch right there. 6, 5, and 7 on the earned runs. And then you got Dylan Cease over here, who has been sharp. I like what I've seen out of Cease. I think if there's a team to win today and take advantage of it, it would be Cease. But then I come down here and I look at this, and it's showing me all of these, points here for the Cubs, like all the edge points. Like, what are they doing well? And I'll say this. Emenyaga's a lefty, and the Blue Jays haven't hit lefties that well recently. Can Emenyaga avoid the sharp contact? The Cubs have done really well the last couple days in this series, but I saw a little turn yesterday with the Blue Jays where they looked really nice, really solid in that game. Later in the game as well. They got off to a little bit of a slow start, but I liked what I saw out of them, in those mid innings there where they ripped some off late. And I think that the Blue Jays bats might have woken up last night. I'm gonna fade the application here. I'm gonna go to the Blue Jays here on the money line. I don't know, man. I don't know if I can. Guys, I don't love this game. But look, I got burned yesterday fading the application. Let's ride with the application today. How about that? I don't want to be the guy saying it's Toronto when I know that this is a tough one to call, guys. I don't like handicapping games like this when it's, you got Emenyaga, lefty. They're not hitting lefties well. You got Dylan Cease, who's, in my opinion, the better pitcher over Emenyaga. These guys have been hitting the ball a little bit better over the last, in this series. I won't say over the last 2 weeks. These guys kind of trending in the wrong direction. They're trending up right now. But both of these bats have been inconsistent. It's just a harder one to handicap, especially with the perspective on the value here. Like, it's fairly even. It's a 50-50 game. It's given us the edge to the Cubs. I know the Cubs gave up all those runs late with the bullpen yesterday. So I'm going to trust in Emenyaga today, get it done on the Cubs. I leaned Toronto originally, and I will trust the application, and I'll trust Emenyaga here with the lefties, the lefty pitcher not being hit very well by the bats of the Toronto Blue Jays. All right, let's keep it moving into the next one and figure it out where we're going with this one. San Diego Padres, Texas Rangers. Wandy Peralta versus Evoldi is looking what it's looking like. This one's an easy call for me, really. I haven't seen enough out of these Padres to even consider like why I'd want to bet them. You know, yesterday we called the Padres better bullpen, blah blah blah. Rangers have been inconsistent though as well. Like I said, I think that the bats are still dangerous for this Padres team. And we did call the Padres yesterday and we cashed. You know, I said they have one of the better bullpens in the league. You know, this guy's more of a rotational pitcher. We'll see if these Texas bats can get going. They haven't really been that great in the month of June here, hitting the ball. The play here is that the clear pitching edge goes to Evoldi, but he hasn't even had his sharpest stuff here, honestly, with the Rangers. I haven't bet this game at all. I don't have it in a parlay. I don't have it as a straight bet or anything. So this is an honest call here where I'm just like looking at it, trying to decide what side I'd want to go. And the juice, honestly, is not great. Give me the Padres here on the money line, plus 134. Call it a day. Keep it moving. I don't really want to pay the juice with the Rangers when they're not hitting the ball well. I know Evoldi has been great, but like this is glaring at me. Like I can't. Why is that not working? Hold on, 1 second, guys. It's just loaded. There we go. Okay, Evoldi here. 3.4453, like that's his stretch since the end of May. You know, this Padres team, I know they got a guy on the mound, but who's a rotational guy, but these guys haven't hit the ball well either. They had Walker Buehler on the mound. They could have easily got after him. They didn't, you know. Give me the Padres here on the money line, plus 134. Yeah, I don't want to be on the Rangers, so that's my basing point there. All right, back to Pittsburgh, Colorado. You got Jared Jones on the mound, taking on, I believe, Lorenzen. Lorenzen's been horrendous this year. You guys know I'm a believer in Jared Jones. Obviously, was on the Pittsburgh Pirates yesterday with Skeens, but that was just a weird game. You had the two aces on the mound, and the aces showed up. Honestly, the lock should have been the under 10.5. I knew that. I put it in a parlay. I even thought to myself, I hate locking total plays. I just don't love locking total plays. It's not something that I'm a big fan of unless I absolutely see the edge like I did yesterday with College World Series. You know, I'm like, these guys aren't, this is college pitching, man. Let's be real. Aluminum bats. Like, these guys aren't going under that number. This is a championship game. They're going over. These are two top offenses. Just because they got good pitchers don't mean that those top offenses still ain't going to show up. It's fucking college baseball. They got aluminum bats. They're cracking that thing. So we cashed over on College World Series yesterday. 8.5. Probably should have been on the under on the 10.5 in that game yesterday with the two aces. You know, Sugano is by far the best pitcher in the Rockies lineup. Skeens is by far the best pitcher in the Pirates lineup. But you could argue Ashcraft, you know, at this point with the way Skeens has actually played here lately. I'm gonna go with the Pirates here today. It's juiced, so you're gonna have to lay that run line, guys, at the minus 1.5 like we did yesterday with the Pirates. That's where we're gonna go, minus 1.5 on the Pirates. Keep it moving. All right, next one up, Twins, Arizona. What a whooping. I was all over the Twins yesterday. I called out the Twins on the show. Plus money play. They beat them by 15 runs or some shit. God, it was like a 12-run fifth inning. It was insane. Either way, Taj Bradley played a great game, stepped up, looked like the pitcher we knew and loved. And, yeah, these Twins bats stay hot and active. I'm going to go back to the well. Give me the Twins. Even though the pitching matchup is a little bit different today, we've got, I don't believe it's Simon Woods Richardson because that's an auto fade for us guys. I don't believe it's him. Let's just double check it. Let's just double check it before we get too cute. Let's double check it, guys. 1 second. My bad. Yeah, it's Paredes. It's not Simon Woods Richardson. Our tech, you know, I told my my boy, like, hey, listen, we got to update this thing. The Twins love to predict Simon Woods Richardson because this is a projected starting lineup, right? We're not pulling it exactly from MLB as far as the pitchers go. But yeah, that's interesting. But Eduardo Rodriguez is on the mound here. No, he's not either. It's Cabrera. So, look, we're not going to make our read off of this one. I'm going to make my read off my phone here for you guys here, just because the pitching matchups aren't correct on this one. End of the day, guys, You know, we've got Paredes and Cabrera on the mound. I think that the better pitcher, honestly, at this point, you know, is Paredes. Cabrera's getting his first start, more of a rotational guy here. We'll see how he does today. But I like Paredes. He's got a 4.2 ERA. He's been good enough. But these bats for the Twins have been super active, like crazy active. Like they have scored multiple runs in multiple games, looking like a much better team over the last couple weeks. And like we talked about a week or two ago on the show, when the bats are hot, you got to believe in the bats. That's the play here. That's the spot here. Let's believe in the bats for the Twins. They looked great yesterday. They'll continue to look great in this series. We'll take the Twins on the money line at plus money. All right, let's keep it moving. All right, next one up, we've got the Angels and the A's. We've got Reed Detmers on the mound, guys. I don't think it's any surprise if you watch my show enough. You know how much I like Detmers. So Detmers, guys, he's played really good ball over the last 7 weeks, or 6 weeks, I should say. 1 earned run, 0, 3, 0, 1, 0. You know, he's given up 4 earned runs in his last 6 starts. You got Jack Perkins over here. He has been getting teed off on. I believe Detmers can keep some of these bats quiet for the Angels. We saw the Angels take a win last night. We were on the Angels last night. We'll see if they can run it back-to-back in the Little League Park out there in Vegas. Give me the Angels here on the money line, guys. Keep it moving into the next one. Baltimore, LA, Boston, Seattle, New York, Philly to close out Sunday Night Baseball. Let's talk about this one here. Baltimore, LA. This is going to be a funny series here because we saw last night very quickly a lot of people probably on the Dodgers. I was a believer in the Dodgers. I thought that Trevor Rogers was a gettable pitcher for the Dodgers. But, you know, look, the Dodgers haven't been hitting the ball well this year. They just haven't. Brandon Young's a better pitcher. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Orioles get the Dodgers back-to-back nights, in all honesty. I really would not be surprised. Brandon Young has played really good ball. I know he had 3 earned runs in his last starts. He hasn't looked that phenomenal here. He's been better at Camden than he has been on the road. But Sheehan, not the best stuff either. Giving up multiple home runs and multiple starts. Give me Brandon Young. Give me these Baltimore Orioles. Get the bats going. Let's see if they can drive in some runs. It was a lower scoring game yesterday. I expect this thing to be a little bit more higher scoring today with these two pitchers. So I lean the over 6.5, or sorry, the over 9, and then give me the Baltimore Orioles on the money line here. All right, next up, we've got the Boston Red Sox taking on Seattle Mariners. You got Logan Gilbert. Logan Gilbert taking on Tolly. I like what I've seen out of Tolly. I'm a big Tolly believer, but we know these Red Sox bats, they pick and choose when they want to show up. Last night, they decided to show up just a little bit, winning a 5-1 game. But the Mariners bats haven't been that great either, in all honesty. These Mariners have shown that they've struggled to hit, lefties over the course of the season. And Tolly, he's going to come out here and play good baseball today. Although he's not a lefty pitcher, I believe he has a good start and he can get after this Mariners team. So let me go ahead and rock with the Red Sox here today on the money line. Last one of the night, you got the Mets taking on the Phillies. This one's easy for me, guys. We're going to the Phillies on the money line. Wrap it up the show. You got Zach Wheeler on the mound, wheeling and dealing, taking on David Pederson. Hasn't had his best stuff like he did last year. Bats for the Mets, so. Give me the Phillies on the money line. All right, guys, I appreciate you tuning in. Last time, happy Father's Day to all the dads that tune into my show. All I ask is make sure to drop a like, make sure to subscribe. If you want my premium plays, they're over at the Winible link in the descriptions tab. And if you want to sign up for Blowout Alert, sign up today in the descriptions tab with the Blowout Alert link. Highly recommend it. You can sign up for free today or upgrade to Pro for $19. Today's show is brought to you by ONYX ODDS. Spend 10, get 100. All right, guys. I'm signing off. Just want to tell you guys one more time, happy Father's Day. Here's the review on the watch list. Let's work our way through it really quick. We're going Phillies on the money line. Going Boston on the money line. Going Baltimore on the money line. Angels on the money line. Twins on the money line. Pittsburgh, lay the run line, -1.5. Cubs on the money line. Padres on the money line. Kansas City on the money line. Cleveland on the money line. Washington Nationals on the money line. San Francisco Giants, play I do like, on the money line. Chicago White Sox on the money line. Atlanta Braves on the money line. And then lastly, Cincinnati Reds on the money line, but I like the first 5 innings as a play more than that. Guys, that's a ton of plus money value on today's slate. We'll see where it shakes out. And look, even if we go How many games we got on the slate today? 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it's a full 15 game slate. Either way, let's say we go 7-8 today. If we cash enough plus money today at 7-8, you're in profit. That's the advantage of the juice that I was talking about earlier in the show. You know, you look at how often you win. If you're on the right side of the juice often enough, you'll be in profit. You don't always want to be on the juice, because then there are blowout games where it's like, man, I could have bet 200 and made 100 on a, you know, let's say the game's minus 200. Bet 100, you bet 200, you win 100. Like, yeah, I don't love doing that because you put yourself in a spot where you can lose more. You know, it's way better to be on a plus 200, bet 100, get 2, right? But that's here nor there. The juice side of things, super important over the course of building a slate. If you play a full 15 game slate, you don't want to take all of the favorites, because all of the favorites never win and all of the underdogs never win. That's game, that's sport. That's my advice for you guys today. I'm signing off. Today's a great underdog day to play it. I like the starters for these underdogs. I like the bats for these underdogs. There is a lot of good underdog potential today. I think one of the top ones is going to be the Nats today. And then obviously, we're just talking about the Orioles as well as the Red Sox, you know. But to me, the one that jumps off the page is the Royals. I don't know why they're plus money after the way they've scored the ball. I think 21 runs in their last 2 games or something like that, or 3 games. They're playing really good ball. Yeah. Chicago White Sox, same thing. Why are they right around plus money? You know, they've played great ball. So let's see where it shakes out today with these underdogs plus money plays, guys. I'm excited to get into the slate, excited to celebrate Father's Day. I'll see y'all soon. Signing off. Appreciate it. Book the one way.